We're going back down that slippery hole again, as we always do over on this channel. We're going to be talking about rumors, but also theories and wants for Warhammer 40,000. Basically, what this video is, I get asked a bunch of questions of what's coming for certain XENOS race factions like the Tau, the Eldar, Harlequins, Dark Eldar, Necrons, etc. Space Marines, of course, is always a big ask. And I decided to do one big video of going over everything of certain things that I would like to see, but also sprinkle that with a little bit of rumor dust as well, with things that, you know, I've heard through the whispers of the warp. So let's just jump in and let's get waffling. So let's start with the Imperium, because guess what? If you can't tell by now, I'm a bit of an Imperium fanboy, basically Space Marine fanboy. But we're not going to start with Space Marines. We're going to get into that in a second. We're going to start actually with the Imperial Guard, because this is one of the big talking points about the Imperial Guard. Are they going to get a brand new regiment? For me, one of the things that made the Imperial Guard stand out as an army was how much flavor they had in terms of different regiments. Back in the day, we had the Vostrians, the Valhallans, the Praetorians, which were one of my favorite regiments, the Catachans and stuff like that. And now, basically, all we have is just Cadia. Now, I'm not saying the Cadia range is bad, but it's just not what I want from an Imperial Guard army. Now, there has been a few rumors already that is stating that the Death Core of Krieg is basically shifting from Forge World and it's taking a little walk over to Games Workshop, and we're about to get that range in plastic. When I say we're about to get that range in plastic, I don't have a date. I'm just hearing that spicy rumor at the moment. I'm sure it will happen. I trust the sources that I've been hearing this from, and I think with the initial launch of the Plastic Krieg and the Kill Team box set many years ago, what's that, like a year and a half ago now, I think that was the first sign of the Krieg actually becoming a brand new regiment. There was a rumor a couple of years back that did state there was going to be 2 new Imperial Guard regiments. Now, a lot of people thought that was going to be brand new regiments. I basically said I think it's going to be a refresh of regiments. Now, Krieg is probably one of those regiments, and I also think the Catachan Jungle Fighters are also going to be one of those new regiments as well, because if you've been following the releases, the Catachans have had some special like birthday models and event models that have come out recently, and I think that is part of, hey, let's start redesigning this range and start putting, range, not rage. Well, they are rageful, you know, they like to stab things in the face. And I think that is going to be part of a new range. And I hopefully does that happen, because the Catachans are a badass army, badass Imperial Guard regiment, and I think it would work very, very well on the tabletop. Absolutely love them. Now on to the Piece La Resistance when we talk about Imperium, and of course that is Space Marines. There's so much to talk about with Space Marines. Yes, we're about to get the Space Marine launch in October with all the new like Jump Assault Intercessors, Jump Assault Captain, the Chaplain in Terminator armor, the new Codex, etc, etc, etc. That's going to be a great time, but people are still looking in the future. What else is coming for Space Marines? Now, I've already done a separate video for the Dark Angel range refresh, so I'm not really going to go into that in this piece. You know, I've stated what I've said. You can go and watch that on the channel. I posted that a couple of days ago. Big stuff apparently coming for the Dark Angels. But there's other chapters that people keep asking me about. Blood Angels, Space Wolves is in there, Grey Knights are in there, and I have to say, at this moment in time, I've actually heard a couple of rumors to go along with them. Now, with the Blood Angels, I want to start with them because they're one of my favorite chapters out there in 40k. I've always said I want new Sanguinary Guard. I think Sanguinary Guard are like one of the iconic units, a part of the Blood Angel range, and especially now that Dante's just had a new model, how amazing would it be that we got something like that, like brand new, awesome new sculpts, and you know, build this golden host force, which I've been wanting to build for a while now. Sadly, I haven't really heard anything about the Sanguinary Guard as of yet. That's not to say it's not happening. You know, I'm not the Messiah. Just because I don't hear something doesn't mean it's not happening. I have heard a few fair rumors about the Blood Angels. Nothing really banged on at this moment, so I don't really want to get you into like high gear and get your gases rocking. I've heard some stuff revolving Jump Assault troops, but nothing, like I said, nothing bang on, nothing nailed on the wall at this moment in time. And that's the kind of same with Space Wolf and Grey Knights. And this is the problem with talking about rumors at such an early stage. Like, when we look at the Space Wolf range, I've said this so many times before, I want the Space Wolves to go back to that feeling of being Vikings rather than just, hey, we're wolves in space. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I do love like the furs and stuff and all that cool stuff. But like when I see like dog helmets, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me. Like some of the old school Horus Heresy stuff when they used to have like the leather gimp masks and stuff like that. I thought that was really, really cool, Vikingish, proper like beard miniatures and stuff like that. I thought that was an amazing thing for the Space Wolves, and I feel like they've lost a little bit of that personality. So I'm hoping that GW revisits that in the future. I shouldn't really say this. There is a rumor. Okay, and apparently Space Wolves are supposed to be getting some type of refresh towards the end of this edition. So Space Wolf players, if you're listening to this, again, I hate to mention timescales because GW changes timescales all the time, but I did hear that Space Wolves are going to be way, way, way at the end of 10th edition. And the reason is, and again, please take this with copious amounts of salt. Don't go around saying Valrak is confirming this. The reason is that apparently Leman Russ is supposed to be coming back in 10th edition, and he's supposed to be the Primarch at the end of 10th edition. The next Primarch we know is going to be Fulgrim for 40k. Well, that's what I've heard anyway. And then, of course, another Loyalist Primarch coming back. Will they do it? Who knows? All I know is that Space Wolves and definitely a Leman Russ Primarch model would make GW a shed load of cash. And if it's something that GW love, it's cash. They love your dollar bill. So I can definitely see it happening. But then again, I can see GW bringing back every Primarch they can because it makes them shed loads of cash. And of course, the Grey Knights. I'm a massive fan of the Grey Knights. And I really think like the Grey Knights have been abandoned by Games Workshop in a way because they've just really haven't had the love. I know that they got the Castle and Crow and technically they got the Voldus model, but when you look at the range of the Grey Knights now and you compare especially Castle and Crow to the other Grey Knight models, he really stands out. Like the Grey Knights look so small compared to him, especially so now even more that we've just got the brand new Terminator refresh with the models and most of the badass units in Grey Knights are Terminators. So I would really expect for GW to do more or less a full range refresh for Grey Knights and add all this new Terminator scale, make brand new, Paladin Knights and stuff like that at the new scale, give them all badass armor, weapons and stuff. Just make the range stand out again, make it look fresh, make it look gorgeous, and also bring out some more bigger characters. Where the hell is Khaldor Drago? Not only on the tabletop, because he deserves a brand new model, but in the lore as well. It astonishes me that in the lore, at this current phase where we're going through, with the galaxy split in twain by the Great Rift, Drago is not out doing certain things because he was like bound to the warp, and the warp is literally seeping into the galaxy now. Where the hell is Khaldor Drago? So hopefully they do something along with him and in his, in the lore and his model as well. I have heard a few little tidbits about the Grey Knights. Apparently they are going to be getting some stuff this edition, which could be rocking for a lot of people. I'm hoping it is Khaldor Drago. Maybe they do something with a baby carrier. Maybe they do something with the scale of the Terminators. But fingers crossed, they get some pretty cool stuff this edition. And just a quick summary of the Imperium ranges, which I'm probably not going to go into that much detail of, but speak about very, very quickly. Imperial Knights, well, Loyalist Imperial Knights, Sisters of Battle, Custodes, and Admech. So Knights, I literally have no idea what Knights could bring to the table this edition. Do we deserve a brand new Knight? Like, what can they have? I'm asking you chaps about this. Like, what do they need this edition apart from, like, better rules? Because apparently then their rules have been nerfed that bad now. With the latest changes, everyone's complaining, like, they're just 8th edition Knights again. But I don't really care about the rules. I care about models. Like, what do they need on the tabletop? Please help me out here. When it comes to Sisters of Battle, really the same. I don't really follow the Sisters. I think they're one of the most gorgeous badass armies out there, but I don't know what they need in terms of new models. Is there anything out there that could be added to that range that really gives them more character, more cool stuff on the tabletop? Help me out again. Custodes, I'm a huge Custody fan. I've always said bring back Valdor, but if Valdor did come back, would he be a Custody? That's a whole different subject for a different video. I think what they basically need is more HQ units. I know technically every Custody is a HQ because how powerful they are, but we've only got Valoris at this moment in time. I know we have like you can make shield captains and stuff, but I don't know. I just would like more characters, more people that I can connect to in the Adeptus Custodi range, because I really feel bad for them. Also, adding to the Adeptus Custodes, the Sisters of Silence, I forgot to mention them. I think the Sisters of Silence and the Adeptus Custodes should be one book, and it should be called Talons of the Emperor, just like back in the day with Warhammer 30,000, and we should have way more Sisters of Silence stuff. We should have like floaty rhinos, we should have more HQ characters. I've said this so many times, a lot of people disagree, but the Sisters of Silence are way more cooler and way more badass than the Sisters of Battle. They deserve way more love. And finally, with the AdMech, I've kind of heard rumors about this, and I've already done a video about it. Apparently, they're getting a brand new HQ. I just don't know what that HQ is. Apparently, it's not a named character. Like, you're not getting any bunch of new units for your codex. It's just going to be a named character. It's not going to be a named character. What that is, again, your guess is as good as mine. I'm moving from the Imperium to those who betrayed the Imperium. Chaos. Of course, Chaos is a massive talking point. There's loads of Chaos players out there. I myself am a huge fan of the World Eaters. Blood for the blood. No, I'm not Dawn. Forgive me, Father. But yes, we've actually had a bit of a refresh with Chaos Space Marines in the last edition. I thought that refresh was good, but I think we need to go more in depth into that. And I actually feel sorry for the Chaos players, because when you look at what the Space Marines got, like we got our Codex supplements, so like we got the Imperial Fist one, Raven Guard one, Salamander one, White Scar, Ultramarines, etc., and we got like a badass model that got released with them. And Chaos really got left in the dark with that. And I do think that they have the war bands to support that type of release. You've got like the Red Corsairs with Huron Blackheart. You've got like the Iron Warriors, make like a badass character for the Iron Warriors. You've got the Night Lords. You've got the Word Bearers. You've got these amazing pieces of lore out there, and I'm sure if they made those models and also maybe like upgrade kits as well, I think that would sell fantastically well, because a lot of people are just sick of either going, okay, I have to go with one of the 4 gods, or I have to go with the Black Legion. A lot of people just want to do like Red Corsairs, Iron Warriors, and etc. They want to be given that choice to make these amazing warbands, and I absolutely don't blame them. So hopefully we'll see some stuff of that. The only rumor I have at this time for Chaos is apparently there is going to be new Chaos Bikers. In terms of the scale, in terms of like how big and like what it is it just going to be like a captain on a bike? Is it just going to be like a bunch of new Chaos Bikers? I really don't know at this point. I've just heard Chaos Bikers through the whispers of the Warp. And speaking of whispers of the Warp, of course, we know that in this edition, there's massive rumors around the next big Chaos Primarch coming back with the next big Chaos God refresh, and that is Fulgrim and Slaanesh. Again, I've done a dedicated video to that, but I just want to talk about it a little bit, because I personally think that if Games Workshop managed to pull this off, it probably could be one of the most best-selling ranges out there. There's a lot of people that love Slaanesh, Noise Marines, Fulgrim, Lucis the Eternal, Eidolon. Hopefully they can bring some of these big things to the tabletop, refresh it, make it look good. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that does happen, and we get an absolute epic release of that. Again, I don't like to talk about timescales, but something I did hear is that the Emperor's Children should be out by the end of next year, 2024. Hopefully that turns out to be true, but if it's not, do not shoot the messenger. And lastly, talking about Chaos is Chaos Demons. I'll be completely honest with you, this is out of my comfort zone. I don't really follow Chaos Demons that much. I know that a friend of mine plays Khorne Demons, and they're highly broken because he brings in all the HQs, not Carbanda, Scarbrand, Bloodthirsters, all the naughty things, all the dogs and stuff like that. Absolute disgusting. Absolute disgusting. But apart from that, I'm sorry. I really don't know what they could bring. Maybe some new bloodletters, right? Update the bloodletters. How old are the bloodletters now? Are they like, what, 10, 15, 20 years old? Maybe some cool new sculpts for them, and to, you know, update like basically the basic troop units for the demon army. But in terms of rumors, I've absolutely heard diddly squat about that, which is a shame because a lot of people play demons and they actually do look fantastic on the tabletop. So hopefully we're hearing some more things about that soon, and I can have some more information in future videos. And leaving the worst to last, not the best to last, the worst to last, of course, it's the XENOS players. How dare you even look me in the eyes, you absolute filth. So where do we start with the XENOS stuff? We should probably start at the big stuff, which is the Eldar races, because I get a bunch of questions asked about Eldar. Eldar probably need the most models updated at this point, because most of the Phoenix Lord, the aspect stuff like that is just looking so outdated at the moment. So I can't blame people for wanting new Eldar stuff. And the big thing about this really is that I've actually heard about that. I've actually heard that during this edition, the Eldar are going to get a second round of releases. So what I mean by second round, they've kind of had the first round with the Avatar of Cain and stuff like that. There were certain things attached to that and stuff. What GW normally do now, they normally break it down into two separate releases. We had it with the Orcs, we're going to have it with the Eldar, and I'm hearing for what we're doing with the Eldar this time round is that you are going to get some new of the aspects redesigned. You are going to get some of the new Phoenix Lords redesigned as well. In November, apparently, that is when the Kill Team block launches with the Scouts and brand new plastic Striking Scorpions. I have heard a few whispers that GW, when it comes to Kill Team, want to go to the air type of warfare. I've heard about I forgot what they're called now, Swooping Hawks. I've heard about new plastic Swooping Hawks. Again, rumors, don't take this for confirmed or anything like that, but if that is true, then I can definitely see that releasing in Kill Team boxes. I'm definitely sure that the rumors that I'm hearing do have some sense of truthness to them. I believe them anyway. That's what I'll say during this video. I believe them. I really do think the Eldar will receive a big update during 10th edition, but I'm just hoping that it's most of the stuff that a lot of people want. The Phoenix Lords, the Aspect Warriors. I know people will say like Fire Dragons and stuff. I'm not too sure at this point, but hopefully, yes, hopefully you get all that amazing new stuff. In terms of the other Eldar, like the Harlequins and the Dark Eldar, I've heard nothing for Harlequins, I'm sorry. Clown boys just have to keep on clowning. Dark Eldar, I heard something. I don't really want to go into this too much because I don't want to give people too much hope, but I've heard Vect swung around, but this is from sources that I'm not saying I don't trust, they just haven't given me anything before. So the last thing I want to do is go say, hey, Vect is coming back, everyone. Get ready for a new Vect model, when potentially that is not on the cards at all. Hopefully Vect does come back, because I think that's what the Dark Eldar needs something big. Everyone has been getting some big models. The Imperium have been getting the Primarchs and stuff. Chaos got like a brand new Abaddon model, everything like that. Like, what have the Eldar, what have the Dark Eldar got? They've got nothing. They've got nothing. And I think Vec would be a perfect character to be a centerpiece in that armor, to just, you know, base your army around and go forward and purge with. As someone who dislikes Tau, please don't take this the wrong way when I say I'm actually excited from what I'm hearing about the Tau, because something I've always wanted for the Tau is for the Tau Auxiliary, the crew, especially, to be built on, because I absolutely love the crew. I hate the Tau, but I love the crew. I think they're an amazing army. They're brutal, they're cunning, they're hunters. They just look good as models. And some of the things I've been hearing about, and some of the things that have actually been rumored on the actual rumor images as well, kind of confirming that we should be getting something to do with the crew, like a crew refresh to the Tau range. I've also heard stuff like Vespids being slung around in the rumorverse as well. So hopefully that could come to fruition, and we can get some of these other Tau link races coming out with a Tau refresh. I think that could work very, very well because I think most of the battle suits still stand up today. I know there's a little bit of the Tau range that does look outdated, and again, hopefully the outdated stuff gets updated because at the end of the day, I want everyone to get new stuff and build new stuff and be happy and throw it on the tabletop and have fun because that's what it's all about, right? But yeah, that's what I've heard about the Tau, so I am excited. Hopefully we get more Kroot stuff, and hopefully it turns out to be a pretty good little refresh, and people enjoy it and get more Kroot on the tabletop. Play Kroot, not Tau. That is the only way forward, brothers. Now, with the other races, like Necrons, I've kind of already discussed Necrons. Apparently, Imhotep the Stormlord is getting a brand new model that should be coming by the end of this year, along with, you know, the AdMech release as well. I'm hearing nothing else with the Necrons. Hopefully, they get a few new items. I know we've just had a range refresh with them. Is there anything else with the Necrons that deserve stuff? Actually, there is. There's Trajan. Trajan the Infinite, right? Mr. Pokemon Collector himself. He needs a new model. What the hell, Games Workshop? Where is his model? If anything, I thought he had a model right now. If you haven't read The Infinite Divine, by the way, it is one of the most greatest books ever made in 40k. Trust me, you'll love it, start to finish. It's literally just two old men as robots fighting each other over, you know, millions of years. Yeah, it really is great. So yeah, hopefully he'll get a new model and some other stuff as well. Orcs. And when it comes to orcs, we've actually had some rumor pictures of orcs, but I actually don't know what the orcs need now. The orcs have had like a kind of a pretty good refresh, for me anyway, like the beast snaggers that came out and stuff. I know a fair few people didn't like them. I thought they looked cool and stuff like that. We just got the new boys, like there's new vehicles and stuff. Maybe some new trucks. Maybe some characters to get freshed out, like what's he called, Nazdreg or something like that. I know Gung would love that to happen. Like, you know, maybe that's what GW's going to do now, like going more into like the character redevelopment for the orcs now that they've mostly put out the base range of like everything else and stuff. Maybe some mega armor knobs. I don't think we got any new ones of them, did we? So some, you know, certain cool stuff like that could be very, very nice. I'm trying to think, is there any more XENOS races that I forgot to mention? Tyranids, they just had a range refresh, so I don't expect anything from them for a long time. I'm sure they'll get something else, but not at this point, or within the foreseeable future. Votann, I'm going to say they're XENOS. I actually have heard Votann are supposed to be getting a second refresh, just like the Eldar. In terms of what? I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to give you my prediction, what I would love. A land train. There we go. It was the iconic thing back in the day. Give us an upscaled 40k land train that you just put across the map, and that's it. You have to like snake through it or something to fight against the Votann. I'm sure that could be fun to play against or, you know, play with on the tabletop. But apart from that, I think I'm going to call the video there. How long has this video been? I think it's over like 15 minutes. Holy Emperor. That's a lot of waffling from Valrak today. If I forgot to mention anything, I apologize. Post it down below and I'll do my best to try and respond to you about that. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, any recommendations, anything that you would love to see a part of your range this edition, post it down below and we'll have a nice little chin wag. I really do love to engage with people in the comment section, so please post down below and yeah, we'll talk down there. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.